So, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Give me your 5 best players for Notre Dame this season. I'll let you stew on that because you talk about it a lot. The coaches can call an amazing game. But you need guys to just step up and make plays.
Hmm.
Hey, against Marshall, Brady Lindsey, that ball was a little bit overthrown. But bro, if you want to be a standout player, haul it in. Like that's the difference between you just being a guy and you being a star. Like make those big plays. So give me your year 5, Mike. Who are the guys making those plays? And you can do like 5 offense, 5 defense if you want, but I really want 5.
I don't have 5 on defense. All right. So first name I wrote down was Joe Alt.
My boy.
I know who I'm talking to. But no, Joe Alt's been.
And folks in YouTube with less live or watching back, please drop your 5 as well.
I think, that a boy, Mike. I think Alt played exceptional, and again, like we were talking about Holden and Eli, just sort of physically looking the part. Like Alt looks the part. Michael Mayer, but I'm putting an asterisk because it's like he's played so well that I almost don't want to add him to the list because it's too obvious. I'm putting Estime in that group. I'd put Tyree in that group. I don't have a wide receiver in that group. So that's on offense. It'd be Alt.
Do you think about Styles?
No.
Okay.
He hasn't done anything to me that's like really jumped off the screen to me. Like I think he's been fine. But yeah, I mean, as far as Alt, Mayer, Estime, Tyree, I'm putting Howard Cross and Jacob Lacey in there. I think Riley Mills has kind of come on. I'm leaving Isaiah Foskey out. I don't have one for the linebackers. And you asked for 5, Mike, and I'm gonna
go
on. So I'm gonna go on defense. I'm going Cross, Lacey. I think Mills has played well, and in terms of maximizing his ability. You feel me on that, Mike?
Sure.
And I'd probably put obviously Tariq Bracy. You did put me on the spot, so half of this is your fault.
I know.
And then I'm saying Benjamin Moore. I'm saying Benjamin Morrison.
May I add John Sott?
Of course you can.
Fantastic. All right, so here's who we got. We got a lot. Let's see if I can.
Offense is Joe Alt, Michael Mayer, Estime.
This is what I've got, Mike. Alt, Estime, Mayer, Tyree, Cross, Lacey, Mills, Bracy, Morrison, Sott. That's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 or 11. Trim it down. Give me. I really want 5.
Okay, I'm going Tariq Bracy, Michael Mayer, Joe Alt, Cross, and Estime.
Bracy, Mayer, Alt, Cross, Estime. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now can we just kind of run through that group?
I'm gonna get torched for that. I'm forgetting everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
let's continue the exercise.
Let's just say who you could be forgetting. None at quarterback. I think Estime's been the best running back.
Maybe Styles. I mean, you could say Styles.
We can discuss Styles. Mayer, obviously. I don't think there's another tight end. Alt. I don't think there's another offensive lineman. Like, we're not going to go with freaking 5 offensive linemen for this or anything. So, Alt's your best offensive lineman. Defensive line, I think Cross. I mean, is he still the leading tackler? I mean, he was the leading tackler after the Cal game.
Yeah,
Kaiser's
I'm sure
now
he is.
got him.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's got 23 tackles. 23 tackles at the defensive line spot. I mean, that's good. That's not like 23 tackles at safety. You're making plays when you're a defensive lineman making.
And I think, that was a fun exercise, and I'm sure you're going to finish your thought. But like, I've talked about the potential versus production, and like these are guys that to me are like maximizing their physical gifts. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead. What were you? So what's the?
I don't know if there's one at linebacker, and I think you hit the best defensive back. So I think this is a good list.
Yeah, and I put Morrison. I mean, it's
close.
Like, and Morrison's got a lot of physical potential, but he's so young. And it's like Brandon Joseph's played fine. I think Xavier Watts has played fine. but I think that the expectation for a Brandon Joseph was much higher than what the production has been. And I mean, X Watts is one of my favorite players. He took a bad angle on that Clarence Lewis long ball, but God, I like the way that Xavier plays the game, dude. You know, and I think Tim said it best. Like, you know, he comes downhill so violently, and he's such a blur that you have to wait till the pile clears up. You're like, oh, that was X Watts, because he closes so violently.
Two things, and then we're gonna get out of here because as you talked about Watts, I just think he's a football player, man.
Hell yeah,
football player. I think as someone, and I don't like the dog on players. That's not my MO. But Braden Lindsey seems like more of a track star to me. You know, like I think like I don't know if you throw Cam Hart in there, but guys that are maybe a little bit more specialty players, not one trick ponies, but kind of in that realm. Whereas Watts, someone just can do it all, dude.
Yeah,
You give Mayer a jet sweep for crying out loud.
Yeah, they can physically do a lot of things well, and it was great. I think on that Clarence Lewis touchdown, you know, that receiver, I'm assuming, is probably a 4.4, 4.5 guy. He was not pulling away on Xavier in terms of, Xavier's like a 4.7-ish guy, but like Xavier was, you know, matching with him in terms of the speed. But you know, it's like a Lindsey. And I've watched a ton of football, man.
Yeah. And
it's like when you kind of get into the culture and sort of the makeup of some of these players. And like, you know, I touched on this with Deion Colsey, who got a few snaps. Like Deion Colsey's healthy, right? He's playing, he's done some special teams and whatever. But like, I just don't see, like, with the body English with not Lorenzo Styles, excuse me, with Braden Lindsey, I just don't see it, man. Like, I just don't see that, like, that willingness to go up and get it and go compete. And that's, you know, that's a big part of what football is, you know. And like Michael Mayer's doing stuff he don't have to do because it's in his core. It's who he is, you know?
Yeah. So not a bad thought. Kind of makes sense.
No, that was fun. I'd like to give it another 2-3 games and see if I'm
talking about
list
just
changes.
my not the top 5 thing. That was obviously great. The you know, just the football guys, just like football. Like Xavier Watts to me is a football guy.
But isn't a part of being a football guy, like, you know, like most, like you said on this show, like, well, that's spoken like a true inside linebacker, right? Because that's who I am.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's go play in the parking lot. Let's go compete, right? So, I mean, that's part of what being a football player is the drive, you know? And it just so happens that a kid like X Watts has that.